So C4 twin turbos, that's what we're working on currently. We're working on the fuel system. We want to basically upgrade. Now, really, if we want to go crazy, typically when you're working with these fuel setups, you want to basically almost delete what you're working with here most of the time, because you need to upgrade so high on the lines and stuff that it's important to, basically get every ounce of fuel out as fast as possible. Now, in this case, I've got a I've upgraded the fuel pump to a 450. The old one was good for about 400 horsepower, but it definitely can't handle these twins. Now, I talked to them, and they specifically said that, we could be good from anywhere to 650 to 700 with this one. It's always important to check with your manufacturers, because, I mean, that is where fuel gets complicated. People say pump this, pump that, and then, they'll talk about liters per hour, PSI, ranges, voltage based on ranges. I mean, it gets complicated fast. So, and then of course you got to worry about your 90s, your bends, any kind of bends, reducing the length of the fuel lines. You have fuel line drop. Basically there's so many different things. Generally speaking, when you're just going a very small distance from here, you're coming through here, boom, and then you're out. Okay, we're talking less than a foot. And then this is normally a bulkhead setup, but it's the easiest way. I got a 3/8 that matches perfectly and goes straight to a 10. And then on our return, this is a -6, granted, but we're going to run -8 back to it, so we have a reducer. So -6 returns. So typically when you run your fuel lines, good strong senses. If you're running a 10 forward, you need an 8 back. So you only downsize once. So that, typically where you want to be. Now, I got the proper filter for it. I've got everything hooked up. Make sure that when you run your fuel lines that it is a intake fuel line. You cannot just grab a regular fuel line and shove it in a tank. It will melt. Now back here where we drop this bad boy in at stock location, we're going to have just the breather right there. Need to do a little cleaning on that. Unfortunately, it's rotten. No big deal. But this surface here is really rusty for some reason. Kind of unusual to happen right on top like that when it's fully enclosed like this. I mean, this is the back of the car, and it's like way up inside. So what we're going to have to do is, I'm thinking, is maybe have a shop vac over here and just slowly sand around there, or like use a scotch pad or something. Just get some of that off there. We don't want any sealing problems. Now, I did order a brand new gasket here to basically seal that. It's stock original one, and that's the side that actually connects going in there. So not overcomplicated, nothing serious here. If we're going to several hundred plus horsepower and up, yeah, we'd want to redo this entire setup. So we'd have 2 pumps in here running a squid probably, maybe do 2 twin 300s in here or something, and then do a actual scavenging setup in the front, maybe an inline or something there. But this one, we're going to dyno it and see what we get out of it, of course, but we're logically going to detune everything, bring it down. So it basically is going to be a long, term kind of thing. So he gets full reliability out of everything. But quick tune, boom, and he can dominate. So don't get me wrong, he's not going to dominate nowadays. Anything crazy. But anyway, so this is what it is. This is what we're going to do. We've got the bigger pump in here. It fit literally inside. We just needed to give it some extra. I wanted to give a little extra support in there with a couple fuel safe zip ties, and then of course we got it locked in nice and tight there. We used the original line 3/8 to our -10. Now I'm using basically fixed. These are really tight lock setups, so I don't want any leaking. We got 1 right here and 2 on the other side, so on our high pressure side. So that should work really nicely. And then, of course, stock plugs, stock everything. And we did have to replace that. I'm going to basically melt these down, throw a little heat on them, and that'll get that closed up, so that way there's no possibilities of issues there. So the original sender, so we don't even have to mess with that. But essentially, that's all we're doing in the trunk at this point, as far as getting fuel out. Now we're gonna make our lines from here, literally coming out, and remember, use as few 90s, 45s as possible, especially a 180 or anything like that. Try never to do that. Try to use the hose as it comes, allow it to bend, and that will save you on what you actually get to the engine, because all those 90s reduces basically the performance of the pump. So I don't know what the actual percentage is, but it's pretty quick on those drops, so you don't want to do too many of those. Thankfully, we have a little ways to go out, so once it leaves here, it's going to come way over here before it actually comes down, and then we're just going to go straight to the back of the motor. And then at the motor, hopefully, we can just do a curve into it. If not, we're going to have 190. So that's not bad at all. We're doing really good there. All right. Well, once we get into running some lines, running all that stuff, we'll bring you back in. Just want to give you a quick update on this one. This is going to be a short one, guys. But this is our C4 twin turbo build. I'm Jeremy. This is Chaos Garage. I appreciate you guys. And thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Have a good one.